Chapter 10. Make a plan and set a date. This chapter 2 is one of my favorite chapters. I remember back in like 2014 or 15 when I started listening to a lot of podcasts and audiobooks. I came across this one that changed my life. This book I will never, ever forget. I actually think that I had not come across it, I might not have reached the success I have today. That book is called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. If you remember, I mentioned that in the last chapter, multi-channel learning. So I'm not going to divulge into all the deep things that I learned from that book. You should do that yourself. You really should. It's a really good book. But this particular topic played a definite role. He said, and keep in mind that I'm paraphrasing, everything starts with desire. And that if you want to do something, put a date on the things you want to do. If I recall correctly, he was referring to a certain amount of money that you want to make and also a personal creed. So on a regular sheet of paper, I created a document and I put how much money I wanted to make by a certain time, my personal creed to myself, and I put my quit date. When I did that, I remember the feeling. It felt challenging. It felt inspiring. It felt like a weight was actually lifted off my shoulders already because I actually believed that I was going to do it. I deeply desired to do it, like my life depended on it. You got to remember, at this time, I was working in what some refer to as corporate America, but I thought of it as four walls with a ball and chain on it. I couldn't see success for myself. I couldn't even fake the funk anymore. It was October 8th of 2015 when I was reading this book. I decided that I was going to give myself a year and a half to get everything together in preparation and do the unthinkable. Walk the fuck away from my small cubicle with temporary walls and tackle life. Man, it felt good. It felt good when I decided I was going to do it. So there it was. I was going to quit my job in a year, which made the date October 8th, 2016. In the book, he also mentioned that you should put this date and creed anywhere you spend your time. So I took the 3 items I created, my personal creed to myself, which was a detailed explanation of what I was going to do, my main strategic goal, which was a bird's eye view of what I'm doing, and also another sheet of paper that had lyrics on it from a Wiz Khalifa song called Elevated. Basically, the first verse he raps and implies that if you want to go get it, don't be scared, and that they don't tell us that we can be our own bosses. So I took these sheets of paper and I taped them onto my mirror in my bathroom. I put it there because I knew that at least twice a day I would spend personal time in there, which meant that it was very likely I was going to see this stuff multiple times a day. So the end result? Guess what? I quit my job on May 13th, 2016. So instead of taking a whole year to prepare for quitting my job, I did it in 7 months. Gosh, that was amazing after I realized how it all actually went down. It was actually funny because I had a coworker that told me, that's on Friday the 13th. You sure you want to do it on that day? I laughed and I told him, see, that's a prime example of why I'm leaving this work world, because I don't believe in these systematic ways of growth of myself. To me, it was like, what kind of fear is that? I wasn't about to let some fabricated, scary date deter me from doing what I believe was right for me. So the date, Friday the 13th of May 2016 came. I had already gave like a 3 week early time to train someone to fill my position. See, I was already thinking like a boss. Then I did it. I walked away to never turn back. Gone. Later that night, my homie D came up from Raleigh, North Carolina, and brought in the celebration with me. I bought a bottle of our usual cognac, Courvoisier. D brought a bottle of Remy Martin, VSOP. So me, my girlfriend, who is my wife now, and D signed the bottle of Remy Martin as a commemorative piece. I'm going to keep that bottle with me for the rest of my life. On May 13th of every year, I'm also going to drink a bottle of Remy Martin so I'll never forget. Remy Martin was also special to all of my friends because just a few months prior to this date, we lost a close friend, Ralph Nader Bennett. That's the liquor he always bought. He was a guy with a big smile and a big heart. I love you, Ralph. And I pray that you're looking down on us and keeping us all safe.